everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, starseed astrologer and spiritual messenger from sacredsoulempowerment.com, here to do your weekly angel card reading for Monday, October 30th through Sunday, November 5th, 2017. For this week's weekly reading, we're going to be using the Archangel Power Tarot cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. And your special message card, depending on your stone of choice today, is going to be coming from the Archangel Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. So before we get into showing you your stones of choice, I want to make mention too that we're now entering a new month, the month of November. So you want to make sure to go to my YouTube channel, Colleen Lemma, and watch the monthly angel card reading for the month of November. So let's take a look at your stones of choice. And all three of these stones are healing in a way and grounding in a way, because we do have Saturn squaring Chiron this week, which we'll talk about in a minute. This first stone is called Bloodstone. And Bloodstone is a green stone. I'm not sure how well you can see it with the lighting here, but it's a green stone with little red flecks in it. And that's why they call it Bloodstone. Now, Bloodstone is a powerful healer, both of the emotional body and the physical body. And actually, as far as the physical body, it's a really good blood cleanser. It's very grounding, it's very protecting, and it helps to revitalize one's energy. And it's considered a very mystical stone by the ancients. Your second stone of choice is Smoky Quartz. Now, sometimes smoky quartz comes all the way from looking like a clear quartz crystal all the way down into a very dark, deep, brownish, smoky color. And so this is actually a pretty light smoky quartz crystal, but it does have a very light, faint hue of that smoky brown energy within it. The smoky quartz crystal is good, again, for grounding, protecting. It's really good to anchor your base chakra. In fact, it rules the root chakra, the base chakra, that deals with issues of security, financial security, emotional security, and again, feeling grounded. This stone helps you to leave what no longer serves you, so you're leaving that which is no longer needed behind. And it's really good for alleviating fear and depression. Your last stone of choice is red jasper. This is a beautiful, beautiful piece of red jasper. This is also grounding. As I said, all three stones this week are very grounding. This one helps to actually rectify unjust situations in your life. It helps to calm the emotions, and it helps to strengthen boundaries. So again, your stones of choice are the bloodstone, the smoky quartz, and the red jasper. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the astrology for the week. Again, we're nearing the end of October, and here in the United States, we actually celebrate Halloween on October 31st, which is considered the time where the veil between the two worlds, the physical world that we live in and the spiritual world, or the spiritual dimensions, are considered the thinnest. So as we look at the astrology this week, the beginning part of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, it's all about that Saturn-Chiron square that we've been feeling building up all month of October. Now, Saturn is the ruler of karmic lessons. It rules responsibility. We call Saturn the Lord of Karma. We also call Saturn the great teacher of lessons. And so Chiron is considered the wounded healer, and this is where our biggest spiritual wound and past life wound lies in our lives. So everybody has a different Chiron placement in their astrological charts. Therefore, your Chiron wound is different depending on what that is. But this is about Chiron and where it is right now. And again, Chiron is also the shaman. So as the shaman, as well as the wounded healer, he's here to try to alleviate or rectify or transmute any physical, emotional, mental, and or spiritual wounds from this and previous lifetimes that we carry forward into this incarnation. So with those two planets challenging one another, it's bringing things up to a head. Again, it can be physical woundedness, emotional woundedness, mental woundedness, and even spiritual woundedness. On Tuesday, the 31st of October, the moon in Pisces is actually connecting with Chiron and squaring or challenging Saturn right before Saturn and Chiron are in its exact square connection on Thursday, the 2nd of November. So the moon setting this square off on Tuesday, and again, you'll probably even feel this building up on Monday, the 30th. But especially on Tuesday, the 31st, the moon is going to set off that challenge, that woundedness, the karmic lessons, the things that we're here to rectify and heal within our lives. So it can feel pretty heavy. It can feel pretty emotional. But again, it's bringing things up into the open, up to the surface of the cellular memory within our bodies so that we can release and transmute and let go of whatever these energies are all about for us, where it falls in our chart by transit, so that we can release that and heal that. Now, some of us are feeling this more than others because of certain planetary placements that you might have in your own personal astrological blueprint. On Friday and Saturday, and this is depending on where in the world you are, we have a full moon in Taurus. But before the full moon in Taurus happens, first we have the sun in that sign of Scorpio, the depths of Scorpio, a water sign, very empathic, very feeling oriented. Scorpio can rule secrets, it can rule the psychology, the subconscious, it rules death and rebirth types of energies, transformation types of energies. That sun in Scorpio is going to be connecting in a positive way to Neptune, the spiritual planet, in the sign of Pisces. And so I feel like, in a way, the sun is, it's the light. So the sun is shining its light upon the Scorpio, quote unquote, darkness or shadow side. But yet it's positively connecting with Neptune. So even though the sun is shining its light upon that Scorpio energy, it's being kind of supported through the spiritual realms, through our angels and guides, through the healers of the light, through God, source energy, universe energy. We're being supported in a spiritual way, or we're being able to kind of maybe look at things and evaluate things from a more spiritual perspective as far as that sun and Scorpio energy. And then also before the full moon occurs, we have Venus, the planet that rules relationships, partnerships, money, finances, our values, our sense of self-worth. It's going to be opposing Uranus. Now, Uranus is that kind of wild card energy. Uranus is beating to the beat of your own drum. It's freedom, it's independence, it's doing things in an unusual or strange way. It is rebellion energy. And so Uranus likes to break free of convention. And with Venus opposing that Uranus planet, that Uranus energy, Venus is going to want to break free in some way. So this could be about relationship matters. Now, it could play out as a relationship that is moving apart or separating, or there's, some sort of it could be a temporary separation or more of a long-term separation happening. But it doesn't have to necessarily be the physical parting of the ways. This can also be a separation of certain energies within the relationship that are no longer valid. See, this energy is just about breaking free of convention, breaking free of the old way. So Venus here wants a little bit more freedom. She is in the sign of Libra right now. This is her home placement. So Venus in Libra right now is all about relationships, all about equality, all about balance, all about compromise. And if that balance energy within the relationship she's in, whether it be romantic, family, friendship, business, if it's not equal, if there's not an equal give and take going on, then she's going to want to break free of it. She's going to, again, whether it's temporary or more long term, she's going to kind of create some sort of separation here. Now, this can also be meeting somebody new. So for those of you that are looking for a soulmate relationship, Venus opposing Uranus could bring in something very sudden and unexpected out of the blue that you weren't expecting in an unusual way. So also be open to that happening. It can also go the same way with money and finances. Suddenly there may be an unexpected expense where money is going out, or there might be an unexpected blessing where money or financial gain is coming in to you. So it's kind of, again, that wild card energy with Uranus. Now those two things happen with Neptune and the Sun in a connection, and Venus and Uranus in a connection before the full moon. The full moon is at almost 12 degrees. It's actually 11 degrees 59 minutes, so it's almost at that 12 degree point of Taurus. Now, Taurus does rule money. Taurus is the sign of the zodiac that rules the money house, the house of our material possessions, the house of our values, the house of how we feel and value about ourselves, and so, in essence, our sense of self-worth. The full moon energies, of course, heighten the energies. So with all of these things happening so far, with the moon setting off the Chiron-Saturn square, with the Sun in Scorpio, with Neptune, and with Venus in Libra opposing Uranus, all of these energies also are going to be heightened by this full moon growing and expanding and getting ready to be at its fullest point. Then we're going to skip ahead to Sunday, the 5th of November, and this is when Mercury, the planet of the mind, the planet of how we communicate, the planet of our ideas and our thoughts, this is going to move into the sign of Sagittarius. So it's leaving the realm of Scorpio behind, and it's moving into Sagittarius. Now, normally, Mercury is a pretty fast-moving planet, so it usually stays in a sign approximately 3 weeks or so. But Mercury, in this case, going into Sagittarius on Sunday the 5th, is going to be in Sagittarius all the way until January 11th, 2018. And that is because we're going to experience our next retrograde Mercury cycle in the sign of Sagittarius, and that starts December 3rd through the December 22nd time period. So we'll talk more about that as we get into that time period. But again, Mercury going into Sagittarius is much more lighter and brighter and optimistic and inspirational than it was while it was in the sign of Scorpio. So you're definitely going to feel that shift. All right, so let's take a look at what our angels and guides have to say for our week ahead. Now, for those of you that watch my weekly readings or my monthly readings, I usually stick to approximately pulling 3 cards. And sometimes I pull an extra card because I feel like I'm guided to do so. Sometimes a card falls out of the deck, or when I pull 1 card, 2 cards comes out. And this is the case here with this first card. The first card, actually, when I was shuffling, I was just getting ready to pull the first card, and 1 card fell out of the deck. And I asked if it was the first card, and I got this kind of yes and no response. And so I asked then if there was another card that was meant to be with this card. And our guides and angels said yes. And that's why there's 2 cards here. So we're going to first turn over the one that fell out of the deck, because this one was seen before the other one was pulled. So let's turn that one over. Okay, we have the 8 of Michael, and in this deck, the suit of Michael is the suit of swords, which is the suit of the mind. It's the mental realm. Swords rules our thoughts, our ideas, and our communications. And the message at the bottom of this card says, you can be free. Make a courageous choice to change your situation, not seeing things clearly. Usually the 8 of Swords is about breaking free from something, some idea, some belief system that is keeping you in an illusion of being trapped. It's often showed in a traditional tarot deck by someone being kind of imprisoned, but if you look closely at the symbology, the person is not really imprisoned. It's like they could be chained, but the chains aren't, secured down, or they could be in a fence or a cage, but the door is open, or something of that nature. So that's kind of what this card means. It's about breaking free of something that's an illusion, something that your mind is creating. Your mind is creating some sort of fears or doubts, the illusion of not being able to do something different. And so again, this is about freeing yourself from that. And so isn't that interesting? Because Uranus this week with Venus, that is the planet of freedom. Uranus rules breaking free of convention. And here we have breaking free of some mindset or belief system. And the number 8 is about empowerment. So whenever I see the 8 show up in the tarot, I always think of owning your power, stepping into your power, releasing all disempowering situations or circumstances, and empowering yourself. Now let's take a look at the second card that kind of came out. It's actually part of the first card, but we'll see what this one says. Okay, we have a major arcana, and this is major arcana number 13 with Archangel Azrael. I had to turn it there to look very closely. And in this deck, major arcana 13 is called Peace, which is really a nice phrasing for this card, because in the traditional tarot, major arcana number 13, as many of you know, is the death card. Now this is about a symbolic death. It doesn't mean necessarily a literal death, although, you know, again, sometimes that can happen, and especially right now with the Saturn Chiron square coming to a head, and probably all the past 2 or 3 weeks as it's been building and intensifying in its energies, it has been kind of opening a spiritual doorway, if you will, for souls to exit if they wish. You know, I feel like souls have, in my opinion, more than one option or time period that they could choose to exit this reality, this third dimensional reality, and move to the spirit plane. And this also goes for our animal companions as well as people. But again, this is usually considered a symbolic death. It's considered an inner transformation that's taking place. Let's read what it says at the bottom. Release the past. There is a more enriching future to come. Let go and let God. So if we read these cards back to back, we have, you can be free. Make a courageous choice to change your situation, not seeing things clearly. Release the past. There is a more enriching future coming. Let go and let God. So those two cards actually do, you know, formulate a kind of idea about what we're here to do, what we're needing to do as we're building up towards this full moon time period and all of the other energies that come before it for this week. Choose peace, the idea of peace rather than the idea of challenge or the idea of, you know, all this, you know, pain or anguish or fear that we might be feeling, because again, it's just an illusion of our ego mind as posed by the Eight of Michael that comes before it. So choose peace. Know that peace is the underlying energy here, that things are coming back into a sense of, it's sort of like a sense of rebalance, because we're going through an inner transformation and releasing the energies or the situation, the circumstances that are no longer needed for us in our lives. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the second card, which is really kind of the third card, isn't it? And this is the King of Raphael. And the King of Raphael says, warm, generous, honorable, refined. It says, yes, it is safe to trust. The ability to accomplish many things at once. Follow your creative passions. So the suit of Raphael is the suit of cups. So this deals with our emotions, our feelings. And of course, the king, being one of the court cards, is the most mature of those court cards. And so here we have the divine masculine of the king in the suit that deals with the emotions and the feelings. So we're kind of merging the divine masculine and the divine feminine here with this card. And again, this is very much being responsible and open to your own internal guidance, to your psychic intuitions, to your healing abilities. And again, trusting and believing in yourself. Again, it says it is safe to trust. Again, this is about creativity. Whenever we have cups, cups is again that divine feminine emotional realm of creative self-expression, intuition, nurturing, you know, all those things that deal with the divine feminine, being receptive, allowing things to take place. So the king is usually an authority figure that wants to make things happen, but here in the suit of cups, he's going to kind of recede from that a little bit, and he's going to go with the flow, and he's going to tune into his divine feminine nature as he moves forward with this. And again, full moon energy is really a time where we are more in touch with our divine emotional nature. Full moons often bring out the emotions in people, but it also heightens our sense of empathy, our empathic nature, our intuitive and psychic abilities, and creative abilities as well. Let's take a look at the last card for the week. The last card, oh, we have another Major Arcana, and this is actually a really nice one. Major Arcana 3, the Empress, with Archangel Gabriel. The message at the bottom, time to act upon your plans. Creativity is rewarded. And then it says luxurious or abundant resources. The Empress is usually about growth, expansion, prosperity, abundance, giving new birth, or giving birth to something new, I guess is a better way to say that. Empress is, of course, the divine feminine energy, a very creative and nurturing energy. And with Archangel Gabriel is the archangel that helps us with all forms of creative self-expression, speaking, teaching, writing, drawing, creating, painting, music, all those creative abilities. And not just those types of creative abilities, but any type of creative ability. Could be cooking, could be sewing, all these things are very creative with the Empress. Now, the other thing that popped in my mind when I read this is the idea that the Saturn Chiron square is coming to a head on November 2nd. And I feel like as that starts to wane, after November 2nd, it will start pulling apart. And this is where it says that it's time to act upon your plans. I feel like we've gone through a huge healing and releasing cycle by this time. And therefore, we're able to move on and expand our creative efforts in our evolution and growth as a soul and what we're here to do, taking the next step, and opening up to the abundant resources of the universe. So this is a very positive and nice reading for the week. Let's go ahead and take a look at your special message card depending on your stone of choice. And so we're going to take a deep breath. Take a deep breath with me. We're going to call in the archangels of the highest vibration of light. And for those of you that chose the bloodstone people, your message is relationship harmony. I bet a lot of you are happy to see that. Relationship harmony with Archangel Raguel. It says, we angels are opening the hearts of everyone involved. Arguments and conflicts are being resolved now. So call upon Archangel Raguel this week if you're having any intimate, romantic, family, friendship, or even business conflicts or imbalances going on in your relationships. Archangel Raguel is sort of like the counselor, lawyer, life coach kind of archangel. And so he will assist behind the scenes on the spiritual realm to make sure that conversations flow, right, that we say what we need to say, but that we say it with compassion. So we're expressing our truth, but we're expressing it in such a way as not putting other people on the defense. Or maybe we don't even have to have a conversation at all. Maybe, again, you are going through your own healing with this, energies of this week, the full moon energies, the Chiron Saturn energies, and maybe the other person, whoever that other person might be in your life, is also going through their individual healing and resolving of inner, energies, or releasing old energies that are no longer needed. And so perhaps the relationship harmony will just rebalance itself on its own. Either way, you'll be guided as to the right next step. If you feel guided to have a conversation with somebody, make sure you're in a good, centered, balanced state emotionally, and then follow up on that intuition, follow up on that intuitive guidance. And, in this way, it seems like, again, calling in Archangel Raguel to also be present, that things are going to rebalance themselves out. All right. For those of you that chose the smoky quartz, okay, this one is calling. Smoky quartz clairvoyance. And this is with Archangel Raziel. I am helping your spiritual sight to awaken fully so you can clearly see heavenly love. So, of course, clairvoyance is clear seeing. It's where we see the vision of something that is going to be upcoming, that's going to happen. This can also be about visualization abilities, to be able to clearly see by visualizing what you would like the outcome to be, whether it be more finances coming in, a new career, a move, a relocation with your house, or something with relationship matters, a new relationship, or again the healing of a current relationship. By clearly seeing the outcome, and Archangel Raziel is going to help you with this week, then you assist it becoming your reality. Archangel Raziel is sort of, to me, like the Merlin of archangels. He's that magical angel that can assist with manifestation, the law of cause and effect. He assists with alchemy, and you can see him here with this staff that's brightly lit with all the various colors of the chakras. You might want to focus on balancing your own chakras in meditation, and maybe one of your chakras, as far as what the chakras stand for, needs special attention this week through color therapy. That's kind of what I'm getting here when I look at this. But call upon Archangel Raziel to open up your third eye, and I feel like crown chakra as well, even though third eye is more the clairvoyant abilities. And that's going to be intensified for you this week. And then for those of you that chose the red jasper, let's give this a shuffle here. Okay, this one is calling my attention. Red jasper people. Ooh, peace. That idea of peace. Remember the first major arcana that we had, major arcana 13 in the beginning, was peace, it said on the top. So here we have the message of peace again with Archangel Chamuel. And Archangel Chamuel is the angel that helps us with our life purpose, but also the archangel that helps us with soulmate relationships. And this can be romantic soulmate relationships, or oftentimes, as I've been meditating lately, I have just asked Archangel Chamuel to assist in magnetizing to me my soul family, those soulmate relationships that are part of my soul family. So you could also think about it and word it that way. The message at the bottom says, peace comes from remembering that only love is real. So again, that idea of peace and focusing on the unconditional love of the universe, the idea that you're part of that co-creative energy of the universe. And in that, there's only love. There's only love. There's only, in fact, we often say there's only two emotions, love and fear. And all the other emotions fall under those two, of love and fear. So we want to focus on love, which encompasses joy, happiness, peace, balance, fulfillment, contentment. All of those things are going to fall under that idea of peace. And as I'm looking at this, if you look, here we have Archangel Chamuel setting, looks like a dove or some sort of a bird free. So, that kind of goes with that first message of the 8 of Michael that talked about setting yourself free from something. So I feel like we're definitely setting ourselves free from some sort of thought or belief system this week that will bring in more of the idea of peace and balance and harmony. So I hope you've liked this weekly angel card reading. Thank you all to all of you who actually watch the videos, comment on the videos, share the videos, and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all of your support and all of your love. For those of you that check in on my Facebook pages, Colleen Lemma and Sacred Soul Empowerment, and who peruse my website under sacredsoulempowerment.com. Thank you all for, again, your love and your positive energy. I appreciate it and am very grateful for it. I send you all much love and light and many, many angel blessings.